What's up, guys? It's Colin Tilley. Welcome to Podcastle episode 6. Today, I'm going to break down one of my favorite videos, Balvin Rojo. So, a little bit of background behind Rojo and how it came about. This is part of the Colores visual album series that I did with Jose, where we shot all the videos off the Colores album. And every single one of them was color themed. This was probably the 4th or 5th video we shot off the album. And something that Jose and I talked about a lot throughout this process was, what feeling do these colors give you? So when it came to Rojo, we had a lot of discussions about what direction Rojo could go as far as the way that it makes you feel, because Rojo to me is intense. Red represents intensity, red represents emotion, red represents sadness, but it also represents love. And after all of the discussions Jose and I had, it was really important that we really, for this piece, didn't really focus more so on the color red being visual in our scene, more about what that means and what our story was going to be created by. So I remember the day very specifically. We were in New York. It was the morning of shooting the Purple video, and Jose came to set 7 a.m. He was like, bro, I was on the treadmill this morning and I had this vision. And he basically had this incredible idea about having this flashback of him getting in a car accident and coming back to, be there for his significant other and help her navigate the rest of her life without him. Honestly, it was a wild experience, because while we were shooting the Purple video, between every single set, we would sit down and we'd continue to hash out this creative. And by the end of the day, we had the entire story fully finished. So it was definitely a very seamless experience creating the concept for the video. So, I went back and put together the treatment, and, a month later, we were shooting the actual video. It's pretty special when a piece comes together like this, because not only is it coming from Jose's heart, but I'm able to internalize it in a totally different way and create a character out of Jose. And that was really important for me. So I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna get to watching this video, because I haven't got to watch it in a long time. I know it's gonna bring up a lot, because our approach and everything behind making this video was very different from every other video on the album. So first off, just the feeling and the stillness behind this piece when we first start was so important. I wanted this to feel like a real film starting off, and this is Jose coming home from tour. He's tired, exhausted. We have this amazing match cut where he puts his hand on his face, and then boom, all of a sudden match cuts and he's in the shower. It's a very abrupt jump cut, but I love the way that it works. And it's just a really cool way to tell time. Now, before we went out and shot this video, I sat down and talked in depth with Elias, my cinematographer, about the look and feel of this video. And we wanted it to feel extremely cinematic. We didn't want it to be overlaid. We wanted this to look like some of our favorite films. So we chose the right anamorphic lenses. When it's still, we don't move the camera. And when we're capturing certain emotions, we went fully handheld. So this is cool right here, because he's taking a shower, he's tired, he gets this surprise call, and it's his girl. She's going into labor. She's having her child. And we are able to tell this story with, 1 or 2 shots that really help tell it. And Jose did such a great job with his performance at really selling it and giving us the real performance and that's what this comes down to. Can your actor, can your talent tell this story? You can set up the shots, you can create the blocking, you can create the world, but are they going to be able to sell the audience and the emotion of it? So this next shot, he's driving, and in Spanish, he's being like, Mom, I'm a father. I'm a father. It's me. And then boom, he gets hit by a car. So it's a great reminder, and a big piece behind this is, get the hell off your cell phone while you're driving. It can wait. So the idea of introducing this film again, it's telling time. He gets hit by the car, you see the car flip, and then all of a sudden, you see this shot that's very ominous. It's dusk outside of the hospital, and you see Jose, and he's walking up to a hospital, but it's just the back. So we blocked this shot out, perfect timing, and to where he was walking into the hospital. You don't see his reflection in the glass of the door that's opening. He starts walking through. People don't notice him, and then finally, right on his first lyric, the camera comes around him, and we capture him delivering the lines, but we also introduce for the first time that the whole left side of his face is completely torn up and thrashed, like he had, gotten in a massive crash. So this is like Ghost Jose coming into the hospital to see his wife having her baby. But what he doesn't know yet is that he's dead. He's still living in this moment as if it's the present moment. So we had to work really hard with the team in order to get the blocking perfectly on this shot, because this opening shot, we had it blocked out to be like a 45 second to 50 second opening shot where the camera doesn't cut. In order to do that, you have to make sure that everything is perfectly coordinated. We shot a handheld, the lives killed the handheld, but you can see the way that we have our extras and the way that everybody in the hospital moves. You have to really make sure your frames are filled with energy and the right emotion in order to be able to sell the shot. And especially to get our reveal of Jose's face all torn up. That was really important. And it's so cool because the second we come around the corner, you can see the entire frame parallaxing with the way that he moves his body. It's just an incredible movie magic moment, and it was such an amazing feeling to capture that. So then you start seeing these other shots of him walking down the hallway, and you see a shot with him in the reflection of a mirror, and there's this beautiful shot, which is one of my favorite shots of the entire piece, because we started, after we got that block shot, I just had him running up and down the hallways as if he felt the panic, like he had to get to his wife because he knew that she was about to have her baby any moment, and he wanted to be there. So we were having such a great time running through these hallways, and we had all of them lit, so we had the whole place to play in. But there was a specific moment where I just saw this frame, and I had him stand with his back towards us and turn around at a specific moment to reveal his face. Because in the back of my head, I was like, well, if the blocking didn't work out exactly how I'd imagined, this is also a really great reveal for his face. And it ended up being a perfect cut point because we used that to tell time again, and all of a sudden had him going up to the window of his wife having the baby. This moment is so crazy, and I feel like everybody killed it in this scene. Because Jose is banging on the window like, oh my gosh, she's having her baby. And you see his wife deliver the baby with her mother, and then she looks up at her mother and she's like, where's Jose? But she's looking at Jose, but she's looking right through him. And Jose's like, I'm right here. I'm right here. And it's this devastating moment. And I feel like everybody really captured the emotion here. And then that's the moment that Jose realizes, holy shit, I'm not even alive anymore. He turns towards the window and he sees his reflection. He realizes, he feels his face. He realizes he's not alive. This is like all a bad dream. This is a nightmare. And you have this amazing moment where he just pounds on the window and the camera pulls out from the exterior. And that's our transition going into the next chapter of our storytelling. The meaning behind this master performance shot where Jose's in the white suit and his face is all bloody and he's got these guys in all red suits, and Justin, our production designer, did an amazing job at just adding perfect accents of red into this, all white, very sterile space to make it feel like it was like this heaven, the waiting room to heaven almost. And Jose delivered such an incredible performance here, and it ended up being a really great master performance from a narrator's perspective. Telling the story, and it was great to be able to connect to his performance telling the story here. It's what's beautiful about the way that it's edited together. Beautiful edit by Vinny Hobbs. That right there is like our little transition moment, just letting us kind of digest the scene, to digest what's happening for a moment. This waiting room to heaven is a moment for us to just kind of feel this performance, see the emotion in Jose's eyes, and then boom, he almost like hits the camera and it says 4 years later. So right away, I mean, this was one of Jose's ideas. He was like, man, it'd be amazing if like the kid could see me, but adults can't, because kids can see ghosts. So right away, we cut to this really endearing shot of his daughter at 4 years old, and they're playing together. He still has the scars on his face, but she can't see that. All she can see is his soul. You know, the energy that Jose creates, and the optimism that he brings to her life. And there's this really interesting moment when his wife walks into the room and she sees his daughter playing with like an imaginary being, and this has been kind of a reoccurring theme that's been happening ever since his daughter was born, because Jose's still there. His ghost is still there, and he still has the ability to take care of them. And you'll see as the story unfolds, he's there to make their lives better. He wants his wife to feel love again, but the right love. He wants his daughter to feel love again. It's about the idea of setting somebody's heart free and letting them live on and letting them love on, because I think that's a really powerful message all on its own. We had a lot of fun with these moments too, because, and again, this shows how versatile Jose is as a performer, because now we go into like our montage of dates that his wife has set up for herself. So, you know, she's trying to, you know, find love again and get back in the game, and Jose's there, you know, help her make these decisions in a sense. And so you see that she goes on a series of dates with some pretty kind of shitty guys and douchebag guys, and just like they're not the right ones yet. And so Jose's there to help make it really obvious. So we had so much fun having him play this character around them during these dates. In this one, he sees that one of the guys at dinner is like swiping on Tinder, and Jose's like, "Are you serious?" It's like, "Do you not see this?" And then he finally hits the bottle of wine and it spills, and then all of a sudden he puts his phone on the table and she sees the phone that he's been on Tinder this whole time. She's like, "Nah, fuck that, get out of here." Another fun moment, she's with another guy on the couch, and this guy's clearly a douchebag. We really dressed him really funny, and you could just see by his whole swagger, he just was way ahead of himself. So we had a really fun gag here where Jose picks up the fireplace stick and hits the table and breaks it. The dude freaks out and runs out of the house, just leaving her there. So another clear and obvious decision for her not to stay with him. And this is the third and final date. I felt like we needed, you know, 3 solid dates to really help to be able to tell this story. And so she's at a nice dinner with a guy, and, you know, he seems like a friendly dude, and but like he's just ain't the one. Jose knows it. Jose has this incredible moment where he goes and puts his hands in an ice bucket for champagne, puts it on the guy's back, and the guy freaks out, runs into the bathroom, and then Jose goes into the bathroom and haunts him a little bit more until the guy just runs out full on. And there's this very charming moment where Jose sits down and kind of acts like he's still having dinner with her, even though she has no idea. But he sees the pain in her eyes, and he wants her to find somebody that's right and that, you know, can be there for her as well. Oh man, this breakdown was one of my favorite moments to shoot out of this whole piece. I felt like this piece was this part of the video was very important to capture, and it was the idea that, you know, Jose's wife is. It's the moments in between all of those dates. It's the moments of missing and, you know, trying to grieve and get through the pain of losing her husband. It's almost as if she can feel him there. It was a really interesting challenge, actually, to put together frames that could convey the emotion that we needed, showing her on her own, but Jose was still right there. It was, you know, taking some inspiration from the idea of the movie Ghost, Patrick Swayze, but we were putting our own spin on it. It was really emotional stuff, and These are those special moments that you live for on set because everybody was just so in it, and it was late at night at this point. Yeah, it was really powerful stuff to capture on camera. So I really just love the way that we ended this film, because at this point she's pretty much given up on trying to keep going with the dating. It was unsuccessful, and she's just enjoying her personal time. You can see in the way that she holds herself, she's healed and she's powerful again, and she's an independent woman and fine with that. And she's doing her duty as a mother, taking care of her daughter, and letting her play in the park and having these incredible intimate moments. And you see Jose's there, and he also can feel that energy, and he's proud of her for that. And there's this incredible moment where there's another kid playing in the park, and he sees what seems to be a single dad, and Jose goes up and examines the guy and checks him out and says, "Wow, this guy actually seems like a really good guy. This might work out. Let me see if I can help assist here." And so he gets the girls to start playing with each other in the park until both his wife and that guy go up and they see each other, and kind of at first look you can tell there's an attraction there, and they start to introduce each other, and Jose's watching them and seeing it all happen, and he's like, "Wow, this is cool." And they have this beautiful moment with each other where they're connecting, and Jose just feels proud, and he knows it's the right one, and it's that moment where he can leave in peace knowing that she's hopefully found the right person. And there's this beautiful moment where you just see him walking away into the sunlight, and it's very angelic and ghostly at the same time, and just a beautiful performance by Jose. And I really love the ending to this piece, and I still get emotional even just thinking about it, because it was a powerful moment to shoot on set. And that's Rojo. Again, when you look at this film, there's it's just as far as the approach, we used very minimal lights. It was about performances first, and that was so important for us to be able to have that freedom as far as the way that we lit it, as far as the way that we shot it, where a majority of this piece was handheld. There's probably 2 or 3 dolly shots in this entire video, but they all had tension and motivation behind them. They weren't just dolly shots to be dolly shots. They were either establishing or outro shots transitioning us into another scene. But otherwise, everything else was handheld and had a specific emotion to it that I think really hit hard. And that's why I think so many people have gravitated towards this video, and it's gotten the recognition it's gotten because it draws emotion as a viewer. It tells time within a 3-minute music video. That's really hard to do, is draw emotion from people. So this has been a really fun practice for me as a filmmaker, because I'm like, how can I tell a story with an act 1, act 2, act 3 within 3 minutes? And that's a fun challenge all in its own, from the way that you block it out from the beginning to the way that you cut it to the end. And you always shoot with a little extra room to wiggle in the edit. And in this case, it worked out really well to our advantage. And I think, when I look back at this video, it's like I said, it's been a while. I love this video. I really do. So again, something that I spoke about at the beginning of this Podcastle is this video is very different from the other videos we did off the series. This video was performance first. This was character first. This was story first. Rojo, what does that represent? What does that make you feel? And that's how that story was written. And it's really special when you can do that as a filmmaker and identify what those things are that are the driving force for your piece. And, I'm just thankful to be able to have these opportunities to, work with an artist like Jose that's so open to trying new things and to playing different characters and having different aesthetics for his music videos. It's a very empowering thing for me as a director to be able to go into a music video like this and try new things and create storytelling and come up with a 45-second intro blocking shot where, it's everything has to be perfect. We had a window there, of about 10 minutes of light that had to be perfect on that exterior shot in order to make that work. And when we made it work, it was a big celebration. We were all in that parking lot like, yes, we did it. Let's keep going. That's all I've got to say for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this Podcastle, and I hope you enjoyed Rojo, the music video. It's a very special piece. I'm over and out. Keep hitting me with comments. Let me know what else you want to learn from these Podcastles. I love, spitting insight on this. It makes me happy. Keep tuning in. Thank you so much. Podcastle episode 6. Let's get it.